Well, hey, it's Catherine. In this video, we're gonna make 4 kiss cards. Keep it simple stamper, which means we're gonna make 4 cards at once. I have 4 layers. These are 3 3/4 by 5, and then I have 4 card bases. We're gonna make 4 that are the same, so we're gonna do assembly line style. We're gonna start with our greetings. So I'm gonna do 2 of them. Well, I was supposed to tell you what stamp sets I'm using. The Perfect Reason stamp set. And this was named that because of this fabulous greeting right here. I don't need a reason. How many times do you send a card to somebody just because? So I think that's a really great greeting for that. And one of our Stamp Nation members came up with that, and I thought it was so fun. And then the Yay Stripes, which is a great all-around graphics set. I'm gonna use our Midnight ink pad and do 2 with I Don't Need a Reason and 2 with the Giggle Sentiment. And I'm gonna stamp it kind of toward the bottom on the right hand side, and then I'll stamp my flowers around it. And then 2 for Worry Less, Giggle More. Next I'm gonna start stamping my flowers. Usually when I do mass producing, I do all the same step at once. So I would do this, and then I would stamp on here, here, and then I would go on from there. However, on this one, I'm gonna be working on placement. So I wanna do one first and then move on. Do you guys do that where you stamp a card and then you say, if I did this card again, I would do XYZ. If you've watched my videos before, you know I do that all the time. So if I'm doing more than one, I may as well just do one and then move on from there and see what I wanna change. And then when I stamp the second one, I can work my placement around where these flowers are gonna hit when they're stamped. So I have 3 different colors on here. I'm gonna keep with this color scheme. I'm not gonna add any more colors, although I could. I have blue and pink at the top, so I'm gonna do 2 more up here, and I'll use the orange combination. So we'll do Bellini and Orange Twist. Now to even out the design, I have a little more room down at the bottom, so we'll use the Mint to Be and the Aquatini. So kind of tying that in from on the top. And now in Garden Party, we're going to add leaves to the stems. One last element I'm going to add to this stamped piece. I have this fun little stamp. Actually, there were quite a few in this set that I was trying to decide between. There are a couple small little flowers and a couple little polka dots, and I decided on, this is actually a center to one of the flowers, and I thought that would be a really fun element to add. So we'll add some of those. I have a little smudge up there, so guess what? That gets covered with a black. Oh, you guys couldn't see it, sorry. There was this little orange smudge up there, so I just added that. And that's all for our stamped card panel. So now using the placement of these stamps as a guide, I'm going to stamp all 3 of these at the same time. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So I want to make sure my placement is even, so I'm going to move on to the first set of color, and that is Bellini and Orange Twist. Next up, we're going to do the Mint to Be and Aquatini. Do those down in the bottom. As long as I'm inking up these guys, I figured I might as well do this one here at the same time. Next up is It's a Girl and Party Dress. And this is the problem I was trying to avoid right here. I have some overlapping ones now. I think it'll be okay, but I was really trying to avoid that. Now we have one more set of flowers up at the top, and we did those on the first one with Orange Twist and Bellini. So my challenge is going to be stamping this stem so that when I do my flowers, they don't run into each other. And I have ink on my fingers. I'm going to have to cover up those smudges, but usually we can figure that out. And Bellini and Orange Twist. So for whatever reason, on my sample, my practice one, I did better at spacing out all of my stamps and my flowers. On some of these, they got a little crowded at the top, but as I stamp, I'm gonna see if I need to fix that in any way or if it ends up looking okay. And the last little bit, we're gonna do those little black and white polka dots. We'll just kind of scatter those around, filling in where we need to. And this one I think got the most crowded, and I'm trying to think about some options that I have. I could just cut this down and add it to a card front, just have it really small. I could die cut it. I could just go with it, and hey, it's a hand stamped card and the recipient is gonna like it no matter if we're crowded or not, right? I could use a circle die cut. I don't know, a lot of different options, and we'll see which one I choose. I'm not sure yet. I'm setting the layers aside and I'm grabbing the Yay Stripe stamp set. I'm gonna do this diagonal stripe here, and I'm going to stamp it onto my card bases. So I'm gonna add this into my MISTI and just line this up with the edge of the card. I'm gonna make it go a little bit over the edge of the card to make sure that the stamp hits the whole, I don't want it to be like in the middle here, I want it to be off the edge. So I'm going to use the MISTI just in case I don't get a perfectly inked image. I can stamp it a couple times if I need to. And I will do that for all 4 card bases. So I added dimensional adhesive to the back, and I'm just going to add each stamped layer onto the card base. And that will do it for this set of cards. I'm having trouble figuring out what to do here. Maybe this looks okay. I don't know. It's so clustered and close together up here, and then I don't have anything in here, so I thought about maybe just cutting out with a circle die cut. But then I don't know if you guys noticed this, I also messed up on the stamping here, and I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling like I made a lot of mistakes on this one, so I'm just gonna set it aside and not worry about it. And at the end of the day, I have 3 super fun, bright and cheerful cards, and I hope you guys are inspired.